Now, on another matter, Mr. President, American families are hurting, and they're very clearly telling anybody who will listen to them what our priorities ought to be. Americans' number one concern, by a mile, is the crushing inflation that Democrats spent us into. The share of Americans who name inflation as our most urgent problem is almost triple the next closest issue. Democrats' policies have working people paying a Democrat inflation tax of more than 13% on top of their grocery bills, 15% extra on their electric bills, and on, down the list of everything that families need to just stay afloat. As a result, Democrats have presided over plummeting real wages for American workers. The average American worker has gotten a raise on paper, but their bigger paycheck buys them less than their smaller paycheck bought them this time last year. Now, this wasn't inevitable. Inflation did not have to be nearly this bad. Democrats chose to spend so recklessly. Democrats chose to wage this economic warfare against the middle class, against their savings, against their financial stability, against the purchasing power and the lifestyles that workers and parents sacrifice literally for years to build up. Americans are also deeply concerned about the erosion of law and order in our streets, in our cities, on our borders, and across our country. When you combine together crime and immigration, the issue of law and order ranks as the people's clear number 2 concern, second only to inflation. Last year, the national murder rate reached its highest level in 25 years. Cities across the country are contending with an historic surge in carjackings. My hometown of Louisville is now averaging an auto theft every 2.5 hours. President Biden's failed border policies have Customs and Border Protection encountering 200% more fentanyl and apprehending the most illegal immigrants they've seen in more than 20 years. So there's no mystery about the crisis facing our country. The American people know what needs to be addressed. Republicans know what needs to be addressed. But unfortunately, the Democrats who control the Senate, the House, and the White House are still refusing to get with the program. Democrats' top priority for the entire year was the multi-hundred-billion-dollar reckless taxing and spending spree they rammed through in August. Americans may want their leaders to cut inflation, fight crime and drugs, and secure the border, but Democrats just spent hundreds of billions of dollars of the people's money doing precisely none of that. Instead, our big spending colleagues treated themselves to 87,000 new IRS agents, job-killing tax hikes, and the same kind of liberal energy policies that now have California officials warning about rolling blackouts and begging people not to charge up their electric cars. And our Democratic colleagues have given no indication that cutting inflation, fighting crime, or securing the border will be on the Senate's agenda for September either. When our people are hurting this badly and speaking this clearly, it takes a willful choice, a choice for Democrats to ignore them. Stable prices, safe streets, reliable energy, and a secure border. 4 of the most basic duties that any government owes its people. 4 things Democrats have proven they cannot deliver.